All right, everybody. Welcome to the team call tonight. We are pairing up with Team Fly, Katie Fleischer's team, my success partner, and we are going to talk about inviting. You're like, oh crap! Like, I don't want to talk about that. It's not going to be good, but we're going to talk about it. So let me just kind of start by saying a little, because I think I've gotten to know most of your faces from hopping on the calls with Katie and stuff. But I have been a coach for 2 years this month, and it wasn't until about probably 6 or 7 months into my business that I really started treating it like a business. I had been hitting Success Club 5, sometimes 10, and I was not really reaching out to people. It was more like I was waiting for people to come to me, which when I hit the 6, 7 month mark, I was like, shoot, it was the end of the month. And I was like, nobody came to me. Like, what's going on? Um, and so at that point in my life, I had also met another girl who is one of my best friends here in town, and she's a coach. And she met up with me, and we just started talking about the business. You know, when we get together about the business, we just like chat, chat, chat. So she was like, well, how many people do you invite every day to your challenge groups? And I was like, no one. No, zero. So she was like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah, you need to do that. She's like, if you're going to be serious about this business, you need to invite people. So we started off small, and it was like, how do I invite? And it was like, send a few happy birthday messages. And it was just super easy. And then from there, I kind of like let go of whatever stigma I had in my brain about inviting. And I was just like, forget it. Like, I'm going to work out. I'm going to drink my shake. I know I lost, over 40, some 50 pounds doing this way. Like, I'm just going to talk to people. Like, I mean, I have nothing to lose. So I did that. So I just want to go through a couple points with you guys, and we'll go through, all these, like how to invite and how to talk to people. But number one, remember that this business is a business of building relationships. It's not a business of selling challenge packs or selling Energize or Recover or whatever. You're investing in other people before they invest in you. And that is so key to remember. You have to help people succeed before you're actually going to see it help you. And every single time I run into like a rut in my month or whatever, and I'm like, shit, this is going to be the month that I look at things and I'm like, why? And it's because I'm forcing stuff. It's because I'm being that salesy, annoying person, and I'm not being genuinely me, and I'm not sharing genuinely just about my day, and I'm not reaching out to people at all. So you have to help other people before you're going to receive, anything back. It doesn't mean like, you're going to feel like you're putting out a lot. I know how it is. Like, you feel like you give and you give and you give, and sometimes you just don't get. But I promise you guys, the more you give, the more you will get. It comes full circle. It comes all back around. So just remember that, you can't rely on people coming to you all the time. Like, you really can't. And the key to your business thriving each month is that you need to go out and invite and connect with people. Wouldn't it be awesome if you found 3 new people a month to help, 3 or 5 new people a month to help, and then a couple people still came to you because of you sharing your journey, like a bonus on top of that? Like, that would be awesome. And is like the ideal situation. So I know I've talked about it with my team before, and maybe I've said it to you guys, I'm not sure, on Team Fly, but the way I like to think about inviting is in 3 parts. So you want to connect with a person, you want to attract the people, and then you want to invite. And so connecting with them, what do I mean by that? I just mean that you are adding new people to your network and you are sending messages every day. You need to come up with your coach what that comfortable number, or not comfortable number, like a little bit outside of comfortable number of how many people to add to your network and how many people to message a day. But you have to be doing that. So connecting with people. What do I want my coaches and all of you guys to be doing? I want you to connect with people simply by leading with a conversation that has nothing to do with Beachbody at all. Send them a hey girl message, a happy birthday message, end it in a question. Sorry. I was screaming. A hey girl message, a happy birthday message. Those are very simple. People have birthdays every day on your friends list, I'm sure. There's one day you don't, message me and we'll find somebody on your friends list to message. But hey girls are just simple, just something random, totally, like I said, out of Beachbody. Okay, so attracting them, the next part is you posting your journey and you sharing. So you've messaged these people, you've just like hey girled them, caught up about kids, house, wedding, life, job. And I mean that in like a sense where it's like, a 5-minute telephone conversation in like a couple messages, not like some 2-month-long biography or autobiography you're getting and giving to these people. So share your journey and post about it. And as they see you, it's attracting them to your business. Third, invite. So couple ways that I do inviting. And when I get to that invite part. So if I am actually legitimately connecting and attracting these people, I will go back to them and I will send them a hard invite with a hard date of a challenge group. And I will refer back to whatever we've talked about in our conversation before that might have been a pain point for them. So whether, they're just so busy with their job, the kids have them running ragged, doesn't matter if health and fitness came up or not. You can detect in people like pain points and things like that. For me, most of the time, it's when like I talk to moms and they're like, that's awesome that you get to stay home with Bryce. I wish I could do something like that. So that's like a pain point I know that registers with them that, if I can get them started on their own healthy journey legitimately, then they can even turn into a potential coach and be able to stay home more as well. So I give them a hard date and I refer back to their pain points. Okay. Now I want to kind of go into, I have a PDF for you guys that I'll share. I'll get to Katie at the end with a couple scripts that I use. Use these scripts, but make them your own. So I have examples in there and then I had just the generic script, but make them your own because people will know if you are not being you. So for most of us, we have a warm market, especially when we start coaching. Your warm market is anybody you're already friends with, anybody you come into contact every day, whether at work, school, whatever. People you talk to on the phone, friends, look in your phone and scroll through your text messages. All those people, warm market. So what do you do for those people? I do quite a few things. Now, these are all people that are in my warm market who I've probably sent a hey girl to. They've started to see my journey, and then I'm going to, find out if they want to join a challenge group. That's kind of okay, wait, I went backwards. That's kind of my cold way into it. Connecting with them, attracting with them, inviting. My way of going into my warm market, so people that I know, and maybe not the best, but it could be anybody from I went to high school with them to I used to work with them. We haven't talked in 10 years, whatever. But people more so than just you're adding on Facebook now. You want to use what you can find from your social media to talk to them. So if they are commenting on your posts, if they are liking your posts, those are dead ringers to please go and send them a private message and start a conversation with them. Where is it? The first one that I have is, it's a generic one. It's out there. It's been out there for quite some time. But so I urge you to make it your own. But if anybody likes and comments on your health and fitness posts, you just want to send them a private message. You can do this once a week or a couple times a week. I try to do it every day, but sometimes, I'm a few days behind, and that's okay as long as you go back and see who's liking and commenting. But I just connect with them. I say, I saw you come up on my post. It means a lot to me. So this is an example. When people recognize my attempts to try to stay healthy while being a crazy mom. And so that was in reference to a workout video I did with Bryce. And then I ended, are you on a health and fitness journey too? So then a lot of people will be like, that's awesome, that's great. But what if it's a post where it has nothing to do with health and fitness related? Like, what can you say? So a lot of times I'll, would put up question posts like, what's everybody reading now? Or, what's a great movie to watch tonight on demand rather than me scrolling through for 20 minutes and watching all the trailers. All those people that comment and like on that stuff, message them like in another day or so and just talk to them about what the post was about. So if it was a book or a movie, be like, I want that book on my Audible and I'm going to listen to it. Thanks for the recommendation. How are you? So simple. That's it. Just find something like that you can connect with them on. A lot of my coaches ask, well, actually that's where one of the other girls is going to come in, investigating further into that and getting them in a group of yours. Okay. Another thing that I've been doing a lot of lately, and I actually recommend you all to do it wherever you're at in your business. I probably should have done this a while ago, but print your friends list out. You can download this in your settings of Facebook and print it out. And then that way, every day, if you don't have someone new that's liked on a post or commented, you can go to this friends list and pull up a name and see when the last time you've connected with them privately was. It was probably never for most of us. It's just how people fall through the cracks. Or if it was 6 months ago or 3 months ago, reach back out to them. If they were a no, if you didn't get to the invite, then by all means, get the no. Get the physical NO before you ever stop talking to that person. So use your friends list. So if you're, 3 people a day and you don't have anybody, go to your friends list. Then another thing that I do is specifically when I know there's somebody out there that I want to I know that person needs my help. I know it, but they're just not liking my stuff, not commenting. They're just not giving me the go ahead. So I will send them a message and I will say something to the effect, and this is in the PDF for you guys, but it's asking something to the effect of asking for referrals. And a lot of the times when you take the question off of them and put it onto somebody else, but you're asking them, they're like, well, hey, what about me? I might be interested in that, or I am interested in that. So for instance, the other day, I had been connecting with a mom here on Facebook, and I don't really know her. We have mutual friends, and we in the same circles kind of in high school, but I know she's a mom of 2 boys, and that this could help her. It could help her with coaching if she ever got into it, but the health and fitness could certainly help her. So I just messaged her after I sent her a few hey girls, and I was like, how are you? I just wanted to message you because I'd like to pick your brain for my business, since I have a feeling you might know some other stay-at-home mamas that I could help. You might be aware I work a lot I work with a lot of other women and moms who need a positive supportive outlet to work on their range of goals in health and fitness and are interested in changing up their lifestyle for the long haul, with a structured, simple fitness and simple meal prep plan. So I make sure I add those in, because otherwise you don't want them to just think you're adding them to some random group where you're just going to be like throwing content. Like ultimately you want to get them on a program. And then I just end it with a question. I'd love to see if you can think of anybody in your life that might benefit from one of my groups. And so, for example, I sent this to that girl and she was like, well, I'd be interested myself. And I think I have a couple friends. She's like, I need to lose like 15 to 20 pounds. So can you tell me more about it? That's it. And the girl really only ever liked posts of Bryce. So I never felt I could go in with the, are you on a health and fitness journey too? So I like to use that one a lot. Okay. So there's some other ones in there, and I gave you guys like a bonus one too, that it's a script. It doesn't have to do with inviting, but it's a bonus one that has to do with the money objection that we all get every day, all day. So use it, change it up, add your flair to it, the way you talk, the way people know you talk, and use it that way. But it's a good one to add when people are like, I just can't because I don't have $199 right now. Womp womp. So, all right. You'll get the template with all that. The other thing I just wanted, a couple other things. So your cold market, people that you don't know, that you're newly adding, like you don't know them. Like maybe you have one mutual friend and you're not even sure who that person is. Like it gets to that point, guys. So don't be afraid. It's fine. And realize that this business, a lot of the top leaders and coaches, like it's like a kind of a stranger business. Like people don't know anybody. They just gravitate to people because they have the same likes and same interests, and they've never even met this person before. So it's okay to like extend yourself to people you don't know. But here's the thing. When you do that and they accept your friend request, if it's on your personal page, I'm just cautious about messaging them right away. So my thing is, if you friended them and you have like something you could absolutely say to them that makes sense, that has nothing to do with Beachbody, like you could tell from, I don't know, their profile picture that, let's see, that they just moved into a new house. If you could tell from their page that's like, private posts or private posts, but a couple are public, that they're a nurse, that they just moved into a house, that they're building a house and they need like, they're throwing up those Pinterest things, like all these suggestions of what they like for their kitchen. If you can message them something in relation to like something like that and find a common ground to talk about, be like, I saw your post. I actually did this in my kitchen, or blah, blah, blah. I actually reorganized my closet this way. I know those are all like weird examples, but it helps you get conversations started. Then do that. On like pages, I think it's totally fine and acceptable to message people. So if they are a new follower, a new liker to your like page, I say you go to them and you message them and you make sure that it comes across that you want to add value to them, not that you want to get them into a challenge group. So, thanks so much for following my page. I really hope you find what I share empowering, and, that it helps you in your life. Is there anything specific that you'd like to see more of on my page that I could add in and just get them talking? Okay, let's see. All right, I'll try to make this quick too. So when you're going into these conversations, I just think it's really important to get your mind right and just remember like a few key things. And I promise you, you go into it this way instead of I need a Success Club point or I need 50 PV or something. You're going to win this way every time. So don't be attached to any outcome or to any the outcome of any one conversation. Don't sit there and be like, this is the end all be all with this person. Like, they have got to purchase a challenge pack or it's over for me. Like, don't be that attached. Don't be on the hunt either. So I'll be 100% honest with you. There are days when I sit down to go to invite and I'm like, I just am not feeling it today. And it's not often. It's like maybe once or twice a month. So don't think I'm giving you an out, because you don't get an out here. But like, it legitimately happens. Like, I'll sit down and I'll be like, I am just not feeling finding these 3 new people to connect with. And if that's how you really truly feel, get up and walk away. Because I would rather you get up and walk away for a few minutes, or for that part of your power hour, and like refocus, go read some PD instead, than you sending messages to people that just aren't coming off right. Like, it's just not a good thing to do. So that doesn't give you the out. You still have to message 5 to 6 times a week. Less is more. So don't feel like you have to write them a whole novel, that you have to like be chatty Cathy back and forth like for the next week. It's not about that. Less is more. Listen, and really, really listen to people. Like, so many times I've started conversations with people and just not even cared. It's rude to say, but not even like cared when they said like what they want out of the 21-day fix. I'm just like, okay, like, how am I going to get them the link? How am I going to segue to, what Shaco flavor do they want? No, stop and listen. Like, go back, reread the message, comprehend it, and figure out what they're actually saying to you. And then this is a really great one, and something new, not new, but we should all remember. You want to lead your conversations with people with what's in it for them. So by doing that, like I said, you're investing more in people. So figuring out people's pain points, figuring out what is in this challenge group for them, what is in this Shakeology for them. What can coaching do for them? Not for you, not to go Ruby, not to go Diamond, not to get up on the freaking from business starter to team builder, like none of that. You just have to figure out what is in it for them. And that's where the pain points are going to come back at you that you need to be listening for. So that's it. Just really remember that you're building relationships. You are not going in like for the kill. And also that the conversations that you're having today, they are not going to be your challenge pack points for this week. They're not maybe even going to be your challenge pack points for this month, or Success Club points. It's probably going to be that they're your Success Club points for like this summer. So if you guys don't want to be going through this summer like, oh my God, I'm dying, and it's like Success Club 1 on July, 29th, like, you don't want to feel like that, then start these conversations now, because you're going to build these relationships. You're going to start the conversations. People are going to be watching you. And then you can always feel free to go back and give them the hard invite with a date. Be like, I think this could be something that you might be interested in, or someone you know. So that's it. I will toss it over to whoever wants to leap in.
Sam, you can go ahead. And talk about the transition from what Meg was talking about with the forming and getting the conversation going to how does it lead into the actual talking about Beachbody and the invites more.
Okay, sure. So you guys will notice a lot when you're messaging that this forming, at least if there are any Sapphire personalities on here or Ruby personalities, chit-chatting with people is super easy. So you could live in the forming stage forever. Like Meg was saying, like you could form for 2 months, and that's not the goal necessarily. That's not helping someone. So how do you kind of gear the conversation towards what you want, which is to help them? So you have to pick up on the little cues that they leave you. Basically, 90% of the time, if you guys are posting 3 to 5 times a day and you're having a conversation with someone, they know you're a Beachbody coach. They should know what you do, because if they do 2 scrolls on your page, they should see that you have a challenge group coming up, and they should, know what you could offer them already. So they will likely drop you hints that you can easily pick up on, like little Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs. So lots of different things that they could say. Like you could be talking about kids for those moms on here or parents on here. If anyone talks about kids, that's an automatic in. By explaining how having kids is a struggle, which if you have a kid and it's not a struggle, please share. But what about it is a struggle? So if they're talking about anything about their kids, like getting them up in the morning was difficult, or getting them to bed was difficult, or daycare runs because of the sicknesses and all the daycare germs, you can bring up how Shaco has helped you with those things easily in the next sentence. They say, oh my God, today sucked because I was late for daycare drop off because of this. And be like, oh my God, I hate that. I used to live off of the McDonald's drive-through because their coffees were only $1, and I don't even have time for that anymore. This is what I do. And always, always, always end those kind of messages with a question, because if you just say, yep, this is what I do, they'll be like, cool. You have to say, have you ever thought of that? Do you ever struggle with the drive-through? Do you, need anything like that? Well, okay, don't say that sentence, but, something about engaging with them in whatever problem solving you're working on. If they're talking about how they have no time to do anything, and if you're like, don't make stuff up. If you have plenty of time, don't lie to them. But most people are busy. Everyone on here, I think, has a job or a kid or both. So how are you busy, and how has Beachbody helped you with that problem? And that's all you're going to do, is connect it to the problem that they've mentioned. If you don't know how Beachbody has helped you with this problem, if any problems, that's what you need to do first, is after this call, get out a piece of paper, write the numbers 1 through 20. I had done this exercise once in a group way back a couple months ago, and it was 1 through 10, and then they mixed it up halfway through the group and made you fill out the 20, and it was super valuable. Write 1 through 20, how Beachbody has helped you. Even if you've only been a coach for a week, what has it done for you in the week? You might not get to all 20 if you've only been a coach for a week, but what can you fill out so far and keep that list going? I mean, little things like, my shake tastes good and I like food that tastes good. My workouts are only 30 minutes and that's about the attention span I have. They're at home and I don't have daycare at my gym, or I don't want to drive to the gym, or it's snowing and I don't want to go to the gym. There's 5 right now. If you can do that, you can connect any conversation to one of those things that help them. There may be some people that you come across that you just can't help. That's okay. That's why you talk to 3 to 5 people a day, not because you want to help 100 people a month, but because you want to help 10 people a month. And you have to talk to 100 people to help 10 people a month. So talk to those 100 people, try to help as many of them as you can, and connect with them in the ways that this is working for you. And if you have no idea how this is helping you, I would encourage you to read PD, drink your shake, do your workout, and get on a call. And if you aren't helped by doing those 4 things, talk to your coach, because I bet you are, and you maybe just need to brainstorm the different ways that you're being helped. So focus on the helping and connect it with whatever they've talked about. Most time when people talk, if you ask enough questions and they'll talk about themselves, they'll give you a problem and you just have to offer them the solution. So that's how you connect a forming message to streaming it directly to whatever you're offering, and then going to the invite. Because if you skip that step and they've talked about a problem and then you invite them and they don't know why that'll help them, it'll sound awkward. So this is a really good way to transition to that invite. Okay.
Awesome. That's so key. You're so good at that also. All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about public inviting. So, I've been a coach for almost 3 years. Private messaging is the number one thing. Private message inviting, informing, and connecting is the number one thing for this business, 100%. It's also probably the number one thing of the 4 vital behaviors that people leave to the very last. I hate it. Oh, thank you. Man, you're so cute. I hate in private messaging, right? So that's why I'm talking about public inviting, because I literally said to Meg the other day, I was like, I need help. I suck at private messaging. I'm an introvert, actually. So like I can talk to you guys because I know you and I'm comfortable with public speaking, but when it comes to like other things, I'm a wicked introvert. So I feel awkward, and I'm also an emerald personality, so I don't really know what to say to people. I'm just like factual based and not really emotional based. Like it's not my personality. So I struggle with that, and I have to work on it and like ask questions and ask for help and ask for advice. So don't be afraid to walk through conversations with any of us or in your team page. So when it comes to public inviting, whatever social media outlet you use, I use Facebook, whether it's your like page, Instagram, anything. I try once a month to do kind of like a pick monkey picture with like my, maybe even a before and after picture or my after picture that says, you know, what I do basically. So an accountability group, I explain it. People have no idea what a challenge group is. No idea. They don't understand what challengers are. It's our weird little terminology. Even sometimes accountability group doesn't make as much sense to them. So like I say, a private online fitness group, working out from home so they don't think they have to leave. I tell you, go through the 5 or 10 steps that come with the challenge group. I try to do one of those once a month, a big like salesy type of thing. I don't like to do them often, but they do attract a lot of attention. I try to use generic terms that people will understand. I never say challenge pack. I remember once my dad commented when I was telling him a story of what I do, and I was like, one of my challengers, and they did this, and he's like, what's a challenger? I was like, my customer, and he's like, he was so thrown off, and I was like, okay, that's how people see the word challenger. They're like, what does that even mean? So I don't use the word challenge pack either. I'm trying to think of other words that I try not to use, but break it down real simple. Like they've never heard of this before, because 90% of the time they haven't. And then I try to do a before and after picture. I have quite a few. So if you don't have one, there's a great way to start. Even if I have a lot of weight to lose still, but like if you don't, Samantha, sorry, she's my sister, I'm going to pick on her, has a great transformation from her before and her after. She lost a ton of weight, but, from now to the next time, she has not much weight to lose, if any, but her transformation could be different. It could be, a couple pounds, or muscle definition, or, her shirt fits different, even though it's not a weight loss. So if you don't have weight to lose, don't feel like you can't do a before and after picture. It can be different for other people, for every person. Also, the number one thing with public inviting is to share your story and your journey. So I, get a lot of people that come to me and ask me for, sorry, I can't see the chat, so just unmute yourself if you have anything. But I have a lot of people that come to me that are, like, oh, hey, how do I buy Shakeology? Because you hear about it all the time. Or how can I get results like that, or something like that. But it's not because I just post pictures of my shake, pictures of me working out, pictures of my meals. It's because I share the story that comes behind it. I share the struggles on days that I can't work out. I share, or don't want to, or choose not to. I share when I eat like crap. I share, I have a thyroid disease. People know that. I share these things. I'm a busy mom. I'm a single mom, just like, we're all busy. If you're not sharing your individual story, they're going to go buy from the internet, or from the infomercial, or from a friend that they know. There are 400,000 something Beachbody coaches. Chances are they may know someone else that's a Beachbody coach, but they still may come to you because you've been open and honest in sharing your story and journey along the way, that they're comfortable with you, they trust you, and they want your help and support. So I will say this forever, sharing your story and your journey and your why you're doing this along your way is the number one way to get people to reach out to you. Still most important to reach out to other people, but to get people to, come to you and come to your page is sharing your story. Beachbody spends legit millions and millions and millions of dollars on advertising, not something we need to do. I don't post like the stock photos of Autumn or anything. That's unattainable. In my opinion, Autumn's body's unattainable. My body, very attainable for lots of people. So, I want people to be able, my market can see that difference and notice it. If I posted a picture of Autumn, they'd be like, no matter what, if I didn't eat for a year, I wouldn't look like that. So share your story, share yourself, share your struggles. And, that will really help when you send those personal invites to have people understand that you are there to help them and that you are not going to be there just for the sale and quit in a month. Because, obviously we've all seen it on these teams. People quit within, a hot second. They want trust. And that's the number one thing about this business is trust. And if you're sharing and open and honest, people tend to trust you more. All right. Did I miss anything in the chat? Does anyone have any questions about that? If you haven't, kind of figured out your story or your journey, or you don't feel like you have one, I guarantee you do. Everyone has adversities and stuff, but Meg and I and your coaches can help you figure out what that is if you want. Meg, you got anything?
No, I don't think so.
Right. Does anyone have any questions, specific questions of, the inviting process that you want to ask? It's totally open. There's legit not a stupid question because.
Or do you have a message that you're like, I don't know how to switch this over, or I want to message this person right now, anything current?
Did we answer Brooke's question in the chat? I didn't see that you did. Okay.
Yeah, I touched on it and Sam did.
Okay. Yeah,
so
Sarah.
If we're supposed to invite 3,
yeah.
Do I send 3 private messages? Because I've been messaging just people who've shown interest. But like you said, I don't want to be all awkward and be like, hey girl, I talked to you a couple times 2 months ago. What's up? You want to be in my challenge group?
So are you saying for people that you've messaged before, just checking in on them?
Yeah, but then after you kind of run out of those kind of people, how do I keep inviting people?
I would start with printing out your friends list, like Megan said, and just starting from the top down and, think of it as a how can I help you type of thing. So it's a hard mental switch from how can I help myself with income and challenge success club points, there. Okay. So then to, over to how can I help them? So just think in your head, look at their profile and be like, hey, Sally, I know this is super weird. We haven't talked in a long time, but I saw your pictures of your little daughter, and my daughter did that same thing when she was that age. And then end it with a question how are you surviving? This is what Megan told me, how are you surviving the terrible twos? Or for me, I just put Poppy in a bed, right? So how did you deal with the transition to the bed? I haven't slept in 3 weeks. Look at their page, literally look at their page, relate to them, see if there's and honestly, some people don't post all the time. So it's okay to just say, hey, I know this is super crazy, but I like connecting with moms that I have something in common with. How are you? I got a friend request, I sent a friend request the other day, and this lady was like, I don't know you. Who are you? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry to be super creepy, but I just like connecting with other moms that I have something in common with. As a single mom or as a, stay-at-home mom or whatever you are, it's so hard to meet new people these days. And I just like connecting to see if I can learn something from you. Parenting is it takes a village or something. And then end it with a question. Does that answer you at all? Sarah, you had a question.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm getting the money thing a lot, and I don't really know. I've kind of thrown out the whole Beachbody 30-day free trial and the free groups and stuff, but I don't really know how to get it to past that. I have a couple girls in our group now that I think will convert once they actually do it, because I think they need to be they're kind of seers and then doers, but I don't really know how to approach that topic with them. Hey, so you've been free for 2 or 3 weeks, what you doing, kind of thing, or your 30-day trial's ending, do you want to sign up for all access? I don't know how to say that the best way, maybe, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, for me, when I have those people that are like free trial or 5-day groups or whatever, um, I just private message them at the end of it, or, close to when the trial's up. And, I probably, you should be in contact with them like during those 30 days. Are they doing workouts? What are they doing? Do they ask you for advice? But, when you get towards the end of the 30-day trial, you're going to ask them like, the 30-day trial is going to end. I just want to make sure you know that, so you don't see this bill on your credit card or whatever. What do you want? What are your plans going forward? Did you find one program that you wanted to stick with and do? We have this all access now that for $8 to $16 a month, you can have all of our programs for, $8 to $16 a month.
Yeah.
I feel like if they've signed up with you to do something or they're in a free group, you have the right to like bring up what's next. And all the time in your free groups, you should end it with a what's next post, like a video of you telling people what's next. You're rolling into your, 30-day challenge group. This is what it entails. You get more of me doing this, this, and this. Would you be interested? And also privately message them, because we all know not everybody just responds to the post. So.
What about the people who don't, is it just like a no? What about for people who I don't feel like the free group would entice them at all? Like, I think that they would, I don't know, maybe they're just like no to the free group or no to the free trial. Do you just kind of put them back on like the no burner, or is there like something?
Yeah, if they say no, I just, okay, move on to the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get like a straight up hard no, like I don't want to be a part of your group, put them aside. That's okay.
Yeah.
You can check back in with them and keep your eye on them. But if you're getting someone who like you've messaged and they're like, oh, it's too expensive right now. I just have a car bill and my dog bill and my LuLaRoe legging pants bill, and I just can't afford it right now. I personally always share my story. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure not everyone here on this group is a millionaire, right? I mean, maybe there are a few of you that I haven't heard
wish.
of, right? But it was probably a struggle, and still might be, and sucks sometimes to pay your Shakeology every month, right? Even though you may be making more than it or not, it still sucks to pay a bill, and no matter what. So I think of my personal struggles, and so I share that, and I'm like, I totally understand where you're coming from. It is a ton of money. When I started, I actually had to put it on my credit card because I couldn't afford the $100 and whatever dollars. But when I realized after 2 months of feeling like I could conquer the world, I wasn't as exhausted, I was able to lose the weight, and whatever your situations are, I would have paid 10 times more for it because the benefits far outweighed the things. Would you be willing to give it a try? We have 100% money back guarantee. If you like it or not, you can send the bag back, but I can guarantee you results. Something like that could help. But just share your, even if you don't have a financial struggle, that's okay. Like you can share, someone else's. Any other questions? Does anyone have anything else?
I have one.
Stacy?
So I had someone email me or message me, and I don't know who they are. And sorry, I'm trying to pull this up. And so she said, hello, what exactly is it you do? Does it cost money? How expensive? I have 4 kids, 6, 3, 2, and 6 months, and desperately need to lose weight. Hope to hear from you. So how do you respond to this without spewing like, oh my God, I'm doing Beachbody, it's the best thing in the world. Here's all the information you need. And, not completely freaking them out.
I would say, number one, like I said, don't go into it with, hoping for a sale in the end.
Right.
Number two, I would, be like, I never, ever, ever say what the cost is. They could ask me like a million times, and I'm like, I shoot around the point, because if they just see the value in it, then they're not going to care what the cost is. So unless they're like, look, Stacey, I asked you 3 times what the price is. I just wouldn't say
They can Google it if they really want.
Yeah. But I would just say to her, I would get back to her and I would just be like, give her a little bit of a synopsis. Very simple. I work out 30 minutes a day from home on the days that I don't run. I do simple meal prep. I follow a structured fitness program, and I have a private online group that I work with my customers one-on-one every day. I'm checking in with them, holding them accountable. For me, it's done XYZ. And I'd be like, ask her, be like, what is your toughest, like I'd say, what is your toughest struggle when it comes to fitness and nutrition, and end it that way. So that way, if she says something along the lines of like, Samantha said about getting out the door in the morning and she doesn't eat, or she grabs McDonald's or something, you have like a lead in with Shakeology. If she says something to the effect of like, she obviously has no time to go to the gym. She has 4 kids and that's a perfect lead in where you tell her that you work out at home because you work full time, you have 2 kids, but you also work out at home and you've seen changes XYZ. But end it with some type of question.
Okay. So at what point do you
Close the sale?
Yeah, or even just like offering it, and where do you start? Like, are you just offering all access right now? And if they ask for something else, you give them something else, or what?
Honestly, I'm really I really go into it and I'm like, so I'm really going into it just trying to figure out what they need, like as simple as possible. And if it's only a fitness program, as I do it. If it's
Right.
only Shakeology, because they're borrowing their 21-day fix from somebody, I do it. If it's, whatever the case. But leading into like getting to the sale portion, once she tells you her pain points, once you make it clear the solutions that you have that are simple and easy and effective and maintainable, like those are all keywords that I like to like use when I talk to people. Simple, effective, maintainable. Once you like tell her all that, I would just like kind of ask, I'd be like, do you think working with me in my challenge group could really help you with losing this weight so you could be healthier and stronger for your 4 kids? And if she says yes, then you'd be like, okay, so we should figure out what you want to do in that group to get started. I don't know. Some people make it a requirement to do challenge packs. I don't make it a requirement. I've gotten burned that way quite a few times. I've had people go to other coaches. So I just literally find out what they need. If she's not sold on the Shakeology right now because she can't afford it, that is okay. Help her out with the 21-day fix. Love on her and be there for her.
Okay.
I totally agree. All right, guys, I got to hop off. I have another call, but post any questions in your group if you have any. And if Ariana's on the call, I know she's not, you can't see her, but hop off too and we'll hop on the other call. Sorry, guys. Bye.
One last suggestion, Stacy. When someone reaches out to me, I make sure my answers are 1 paragraph or less, because they came to me and I want them wanting more and more and more. I don't tell them what I do. I ask them 2 questions. I say, thanks so much for reaching out. What piqued your interest? What are your health and fitness goals? Send. I don't, no, wait, I said, I want to know what you do. Wait, so this is my goals. Will you tell me what you do now? And they say, oh, those are awesome goals. I have some ideas on how I can help you. Has this worked for you in the past? Or tell me a little bit about your struggles. Oh, here are my struggles. Tell me what you do. And then by the 3rd message, I usually explain to them what a challenge group is and say, and then I don't ask them how it solves their problem. I tell them how it solves their problem.
Listen to her, don't listen to me.
No, everyone is different. Every single person on this call will message differently. You take it and you make it your own. There is no wrong way to do it except to not message people. But then once I know what their goals are and I know what their struggles are, I can just tell them how a challenge group will help them. And then based on whatever they've said is when I suggest whatever product I think to pair up with that. And then my ending is, do you have any more questions or are you ready to get going? because then they don't know is not an answer to that question. They can ask me more questions and I'm totally happy to answer, or they can say yes. Those are the only options I've really given them.
So what are those 2 questions again that you initially asked?
Thanks for reaching out. What are your health and fitness goals? What piqued your interest? I asked that one first. What piqued your interest? What are some of your health and fitness goals? Because if they've reached out to you, unless you've had a conversation going back and forth, if this was, and this will happen after you've been posting for a while, someone will be like randomly message after you do a transformation picture, a health and fitness picture. So they already have an interest. You don't have to worry about, are they interested? Do they know I'm a coach? Like all that kind of foreplay is over. Like, let's get down to the meat and bones.
That's good. Thanks.
But go with your personality. Like I'm a super like direct and like in your face kind of person, and I'm very boisterous and like I have no shame and hold nothing back, and that works. That's me. Not that works for me. That's just who I am. And Gretchen's laughing. She totally knows that's exactly who I am. If that's not Katie's personality, I can talk about it because she's not on the call. Like she's very to the point, but very reserved. So she may not be that blunt, but she will get down to the facts, because eventually, especially in this case, she wants your help. You have to know how to help her, and then you have to tell her how you're going to help her, and then you have to help her.
Yeah.
And then you can help her.
I have no problem like messaging or anything, and I'm a talker, and so I can message and talk and stuff, but my problem is that I'm ready to give you everything, like, and so I need to bring it back and figure out, like you said, like 3 messages. So here's my first message, here's my second, and then in my third message is what I'm actually gonna, because I just want to be like, I'm a Beachbody coach and this is what I do, and give you all the message, because that's what I want. Like when I messaged Megan, I want all the information that you can give me. Like, and I want
Like, don't message me back, just call me and tell me it all.
Yes.
And you might get some of those people because you usually attract who you are, and that's totally cool. And they'll let you know. And that's great. But definitely I struggled at the beginning with hitting Success Club because I just verbal diarrheaed my messages. They'd be 6 paragraphs long.
And that's where I think I am.
And that's, we all do that. Like with Gretchen, when she just signed up, I messaged her like a sentence because she reached out to me and I messaged her back a sentence. I knew what she was going to ask me, and I knew where this conversation was going. And I could have said, this is what we do, and this is how you sign up as a coach, and this is what it's, but I got her on the phone instead because then, once we did those like 2 messages back and forth, I think it was like 2 or 3 text messages, and then I got her on the phone. I did a Zoom call actually. And I think that is the best way to connect with people, especially if they're signing up as a coach. Like, see your face, see your excitement about it. Then you can kind of feel where the conversation is going to go, and it's it's happening in live time. You can just get it done in a half hour, and you don't have to wait days and days for it to go back and forth. So that's a really great way to do it too. But always, it should be 20% you talking and 80% they talking, them talking. And most of your 20%, at least at the beginning, should be questions.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's
Bonnie
very helpful.
Bonnie Engel says, be more interested than interesting.
Okay.
And that works for her, I guess, obviously.
Yeah.
I know I even have to like write notes for myself because, as you can see, I'm like such a talker. I'm like, ask questions, stop talking. And I'll write that on a notepad when I get on calls with people to remind myself, like, this isn't about me, it's about them. So it doesn't come naturally to me to be interested in the sapphire.
Well, good, because I'm the same way.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You just have to find strategies on focusing on other people and focusing on their goals. And that's just one that's worked for me. Sometimes it's not 100% successful, but works all right.
I like it. I added it to the file too. Hope that's okay. But that's all I have. So I don't know if everybody else is good. I will get that PDF to Katie and she can share it with you guys. Just like I said, though, remember to make it your own. Use your own, verbiage and how you talk. It's very important. I've had scenarios where people send me a picture of them getting the same message that I sent them. So it can get awkward. And there's, a bunch of coaches who work the business and we all share tips and tricks and that's great and it's fine, but make it you. Because you don't just want to be a robot. So, all right, guys, have a good night and I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.